I'm joined now from Washington, D.C. by Arsalan Iftikhar, who's a human rights lawyer and the author of SCAPEGOATS, a book on Islamophobia. Arsalan, very warm welcome to the programme. Do you think that this speech will do anything to win, if I can use the phrase, the hearts and minds of Muslims in America or elsewhere?
Well, Julie, the short answer is no, and the long answer is no. Based on the sound bites that you just played where, Donald Trump calls for a complete shutdown of Muslims from entering the United States, or telling CNN anchor Anderson Cooper that, I quote, "I think that Islam hates us." What we've seen today in Saudi Arabia is just the fact that Donald Trump can read a speech off of a teleprompter without having a meltdown and going off script. You have to take the man at his word. There is literally nobody on the face of the earth that is less qualified to lecture Muslims about Islam than Donald J. Trump.
Arsalan, it's interesting too that Donald Trump has in the past made some inflammatory remarks about Saudi Arabia itself, and yet he chose Saudi Arabia, not exactly renowned for being a home of human rights and progressive attitude, for his first stop on this tour. So why?
Yeah, Julie, you hit the nail on the head there. Again, he has, lambasted Saudi Arabia on Twitter in the past, and there he is, with his hands outstretched, trying to get $400 billion from the Saudi royal family, including over $100 billion in an arms deal. It just shows that at the end of the day, money talks. And it shows the two-faced nature of Donald Trump and the fact that he will do and say anything on any given day to make people happy. And we should call him out on these double standards. We shouldn't just say, oh, well, he's turned a news page because he gave one speech from a teleprompter. We have to look at the entire totality of, his campaign and his presidency thus far. And we'll see that it's one that is one of division and not unity.
Have we reached a stage, though, perhaps, Arsalan, where the double standards, as you call them, can be seen by others simply as pragmatism, just out there in the cold light of day, which is not something that we're used to in politics? That pragmatism is usually, happening behind the scenes. So could it in fact be that for those who support Trump, they just simply say, you know what, this is pragmatism, so what if he's two-faced?
No, not at all, Julie. I mean, if you look at the people that he has surrounded himself with in the West Wing, people like Steve Bannon or Sebastian Gorka and Steve Miller, who have a long line of white supremacist history and Islamophobia, pragmatism is, when people compromise on something. There was not once in the speech did Donald Trump apologize for insulting 1.7 billion Muslims or insulting Islam. He basically just tried to ignore the fact. And again, we have to hold his political feet to the fire from the first day of his presidency until the very last.
So the same man who wrote the travel ban wrote Trump's speech. That really is quite extraordinary.
Yeah, it is, but it's politicians. Politicians lie all the time. Politicians have doublespeak. That's why he's two-faced. I firmly believe that even though he did not say the term radical Islamic terrorism in the speech, he's going to come back to the United States and he's going to start talking like that again. So again, we can't give this man, who is being hounded and plagued by controversies here stateside, any benefit of the doubt when he has done nothing but doublespeak, be two-faced, and flat out lied many times.
Arsalan Iftikhar joining me there from Washington, D.C. Arsalan, thanks very much for your company.